It's more than just your output, more than a bike. When you hear your shout out, you know it's all right. Put on your magic pants and let's go. We're cruising into the power zone. Clip in, set yourself free. Come on and take a ride with me. You know what you need to know and what's it all about. Everything you need, it's on the Clip Out.
Welcome to the Clip Out Podcast, episode 466. This is Crystal O'Keefe.
And this is Tom O'Keefe. So, getting ready for our little trip. We talk about big trips. We're taking a little trip.
Yes, yo. That's what they say to Sam on his rides.
Oh, I see. If you say so.
I do.
If you say yo. We are going to drive up to Chicago.
Yeah.
To see the Sam Yo book tour stop. Since
Yeah.
that's as close as things typically get to us.
Yeah, it is.
So-
It is as close as things get to us.
I would say, if you're in the Chicago area, you should get a ticket and come say hi. But by the time you hear this,
it will be too late.
it will have already occurred.
That is
so,
true. I guess we could have said that earlier, huh?
Yeah.
But
I'm sure we would drive ticket sales.
you know it. I just, like, 5 of them.
I'm just concerned that, House of Blue Chicago could not handle the influx.
Right.
If we were to have announced that ahead of time.
It's better that we didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, just to
so-
be on the safe side.
Yeah. It's just, well,
Oh,
be like if Taylor Swift
it's just
tried
the same.
to play a little club.
Just like that.
Just like that. but anyway, so that's so if you would like a full recap, we'll talk about that on Patreon.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we'll do a deep dive into what we saw at the book tour and I would say our travels, but it's literally a car ride up there and a car ride back. I don't know that portion will be all that interesting. So
Well,
we
that
probably
may be true. Yeah, we probably won't do a ton of that. We'll probably just talk about the actual event. But we do have a lot coming up in the next few weeks. Like, there is a lot going on.
there is a lot of stuff, extra stuff for the podcast that you don't normally get. So
It's true.
uh,
Should we tell anybody any of those things now, or should we make them wait?
I say we make them wait.
Oh.
They can anticipate, and then when it happens, they can decide.
Well, there's
it
something
was
that's
important
happening at the end of this interview. Or this episode that we
Okay,
should let people know.
then I think we can go ahead and tell them.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Phew. All right.
So
So
let them know.
I've been working on this interview for a long time.
Yeah.
Years in the making.
Yeah.
Christin McGee.
Kristen McGee. You probably already know because it's in the title or the show notes or something. But yeah, we're going to talk to Kristen McGee, see what she's been up to since she moved on from Peloton.
Yeah. I've been very excited about this interview, and it's just really lovely to touch base with her. But you will get to hear all of the things, what she's been up to, where she is, what she's got coming up.
Yeah.
Lots of exciting, cool things.
So you just have to plow through this part of the show first.
Then you can get
And then you can
get
get to that.
Kristen.
But you got to wait.
Yeah.
Don't skip ahead. Before we get to that, what, pray tell, do you have in store for people?
Man, oh man. A lot of music stuff.
A lot of music stuff.
In general, we're just going to have a discussion about we haven't revisited music rights in a while.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. But as a part of that discussion, there have been classes that have been removed. There have been classes that have had music changed. There has been discussion about whether or not the music changes are AI music. And so we're going to get into all of those things. We're also going to talk about the latest Peloton stock update, which is good news.
What?
I know.
What is
It's-
it, 2019?
It's been a bit.
Yeah.
It's been a bit. Also, Peloton's latest recruiting tool, not to mention a rebrand of a very successful class type that we are going to be talking about. And we're also going to be talking about where Peloton will be for Global Running Day. We've also got a very cool story about the Peloton Chief Technology Officer.
Yeah.
He did a very cool thing.
He did.
And then, of course, we have lots of instructors in the news. Huge changes for Becs Gentry. I mean, really big change. This was huge. And kind of, there was a little bit of a what do you want to call, like a reveal of where her head's been at for a long time now. Not to mention, there's some classes that have been not very seldom. They haven't been seen on the platform very often. We're going to be seeing some new ones.
Okay.
And then, of course, where all the instructors are going to be. We have a few highlights of that. There's a lot of things to cover in that regard. We also have some artist series updates, and we're going to cover some content as well.
Okay, well, before we get to all that shameless plugs, don't forget we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn. Wherever you find a podcast, you can find us. While you are there, be sure and follow us so you never miss an episode. I'll wait.
Click it.
Also, leave us a review. I won't wait for that. I'll just trust you.
Okay.
I'll just trust you to do
Okay.
it. You can also, if you want to support the show with no monetary commitment, you can do that just by sharing an episode or a story, what have you, just on your social media channel, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, what have you. Just be like, hey, I listen to this. You should too. You can also, if you would like to support us with more than just sweat equity, you may do so at patreon.com/theclipout while you're there. Or no, I already did the while you're there. I'm stuck in a loop.
Oh, no.
It'll just be 90 minutes of me just doing shameless plugs.
Oh, no.
It's patreon.com/theclipout, $5 a month. You get ad-free episodes. You get early episodes. You get tons of bonus content this week over on the bonus episode, things we will discuss that you won't want to miss. Of course, our Sam Yo Chicago book tour stop recap. We'll get into that. Wait, you're not supposed to ice an injury now?
Wait, what?
That's what science is saying.
Oh, no.
So we'll talk about that. The perfect amount of sleep. Also, science has determined. It's been a busy week for science. They've also determined the perfect amount of sleep. Talk to you about that.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about a snafu that could have potentially stopped you from taking a Christine ride, or encouraged you to take a Christine ride and then found out maybe you shouldn't have. So,
Saddest part was that she gaslit herself during the actual ride. So we got to talk about that.
okay,
too.
well, that sounds fascinating as
Yeah.
well. So, and of course, other stuff about instructors and things we just didn't have time to get to in this episode. So, that's all waiting for you over on the Patreon. So you can also check us out on the YouTube, youtube.com/theclipout. And of course, sign up for our newsletter where you will get a mostly weekly recap with all the links and whatnot to remind you that we exist. So there's all that. Let's dig in, shall we?
We shall.
Peloton in the news.
Okay, music.
Music.
So we will start with Lil Jon. He had a class that was removed
Yeah.
and then reinstated.
Yeah, it's weird. Now, Peloton has removed classes many times.
For sure.
And every great once in a while, they'll remove one, make some changes to it, and put it back. More recently, with the music changes, we have been seeing this. But this was a little bit different for a couple of reasons. One, this was the Lil Jon run. And this was a very pumped up run at the time. People have referred to it as the greatest class on the platform. It was with Alex Toussaint, that's who taught it.
Right.
But other instructors were in the class, like Ash Pryor was there, Dennis Morton was there, of course, Lil Jon was there.
Right. So it's
And
very high profile.
Very high profile. Apparently, Dennis was twerking. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And so when they removed it, people went nuts. But one of the things that was weird before they moved it was they had already changed some of the songs that were in the song playlist.
Okay.
Now, what's weird about that, in addition to it just being something we're trying to wrap our heads around that Peloton's been doing lately, the bike class that's also Lil Jon, that has a very similar playlist, some of those songs have not been changed out. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Make of that what you will.
Yeah.
Then, and it's been up for a year. This is not something that they realized, oops, somebody showed their panties, let's take it down.
Right.
That's not what this is.
Yeah.
The other interesting thing was that when they put it back, it went from being a 30-minute run to a 20-minute run. And the playlist had changed, but most importantly, never seen this before, Peloton put a a warning, a disclaimer. At the beginning of the class that was like, vibe check, this has changed since this is different than the original 30-minute run.
Like how on TV when they would show a theatrical movie, like, this movie has been modified from its original theatrical release.
That is exactly what this was, only it was written in Gen Z. And it's just interesting because...
it's probably because whoever wrote it wasn't alive
totally.
to see those disclaimers. So,
No, totally.
They thought they invented something.
No, I don't think that. I just meant that it was modern. It was more modern language. That's
Right.
all I was getting at. Because it started with the words vibe check.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they didn't do that on TV in 1970. Right. So that all was just weird, interesting. People were so upset about it that it was gone.
Right.
And then here's the thing. People don't read articles anymore. They see a headline.
Right.
And they just assume they already know all the things. Okay, so the whole reason we wrote this article, because we did an article about this, the whole reason we started looking into this is because people on Reddit were throwing a huge fit. And in that fit, everybody made the assumption that it's about licensing, which maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Yeah.
So one of the things that has come up I've been investigating this, but it's like low key because I can't say a lot because the person who sent this to me asked that I not reveal the name of the publisher in question. But there is a publisher that has significantly changed their contracting standards and their publishing rates recently, like by a lot. And it's affecting the entire industry. So this person is kind of thinking, well, maybe the artists that we're seeing be switched out might be on this publishing house because the rates went up so much.
Right.
Through some of the checking we have done, that does appear to be the case. But here's the thing. Lil Jon is not one of the he is not in this publishing company.
Right.
But it could be that some of his songs were co-written by people who are represented by this publishing company.
Yeah, and especially in hip hop, a lot of times if you look at the credited authors in the publishing, it can be 6-8 people because each person writes a different verse or, one guy made the beats. There can be a lot of names on a hip hop song.
Yeah, and we know Lil Jon is okay with Peloton using it because he was there.
Right.
Right? So we know that. And the other weird part is, again, the cycling content is unchanged.
Yeah.
So all of these things just raise a lot of questions. But then in the middle of all of this happening, there's another issue that came up this week, and that is AI music.
Yes.
But it's not AI music.
I mean, it is and it isn't.
Well, define AI music then.
That's the problem.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I do not consider it AI music. When I hear AI music, I am talking AI made it start to finish.
Right.
Okay? That is what I consider AI music. And there are AI artists out there that is what it is.
There's not even a real human being that exists as that name.
Only the person who did the prompt to
Right.
create the music exists. Nothing else exists
Yeah.
as a person. So that's what I call AI music.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's actually happening is that some of the classes that have been replaced are royalty-free music. Now, you might remember a couple of weeks ago that Peloton issued an official statement, and they talked specifically about their floor-based classes some of this music had been swapped out.
Right.
They did not talk about cycling. They did not talk about running, but they did talk about these floor-based classes changing. And this is where Dream comes in,
Right.
DREEM. So
All lowercase letters.
it is all lower.
There are multiple artists, if you Google it, that go by Dream.
Yes.
Both versions of the spelling.
You were lucky enough to go down this rabbit hole for me
Yes.
because I was too busy writing a different article. And the interesting thing about Dream is that it is a real human being writing this
It
music.
appears to be, yeah.
But Dream there's at least 3 songs on the platform that are known to be Dream. They're labeled as Dream songs.
Right.
Now, Dream is actually represented by, what's the name of the company?
Epidemic Sound.
Epidemic Sound. Now, Epidemic Sound they've been around for like 20 years. This is not a new company, but they are known for having AI tools, a tool suite for artists to use.
And Epidemic Sound's business model appears to be that you pay them a standard fee
For licensing,
and it gives you access to all of their music for no additional royalties. So there is money changing hands, but it's not royalties in the traditional sense. And I will also say, looking at the Dream music, which is also available on Spotify, and the type of music that I think you're seeing under this royalty-free umbrella is going to be more of the relaxing lo-fi hip-hop beats lo-fi hip-hop beats to relax / study to.
AKA synth music.
Yeah. And so
with light vocals.
Yeah. And so some of those artists, if you find them on Spotify when they're AI, they might have hundreds of songs. Dream does not. He has a lot, but he seems to put out about 15 to 20 songs a year, which is not nothing, but it doesn't.
But it matches a human output.
It doesn't give the vibe of someone who's just like created a program that just churns out stuff over and over again, which you see a lot in the world of this type of music and like the light jazz that's just designed to be ambient sound, like you're at a spa.
Yes, this goes into, you're bringing in another aspect of it, which is the Spotify partnership. And the Spotify partnership, Spotify has been, they definitely have had a lot of people giving them side eye because AI is generating these playlists. And not all of them, but some of these playlists we're talking about, this jazz, easy listening, study beats, whatever.
Yeah.
And when they are creating it, they are purposely focusing on songs that are royalty free, because then Spotify is making more money per song, right? So it's advantageous for them to do that. So then the question becomes, is part of this Peloton Spotify partnership that just popped up, does this have something to do with it?
Right.
And maybe that's the case. I don't know. But I just want to go back to Dream for a second.
Mm-hmm.
There's tell me who they are represented by again.
Epidemic Sound.
Epidemic Sound says in their website, they are not AI music. They represent humans making music. They use tools for things like searching and tagging and creating,
adjusting the length of the song so it fits a hyper specific, like you've already made the video portion and you need a song that's exactly 4 minutes and 17 seconds.
And so they'll help you make changes with that. So that is different, again, in my mind, than quote unquote AI music, which is there is no person, there is nobody creating it. It is a prompt. It is all done behind the scenes in AI's nebulous little world.
Yeah.
That is what I think is different about these two things. Therefore, Peloton is adding royalty-free music and they are swapping out these classes, but that's not the same as AI music, and it's easy to conflate the two things.
Yeah.
Especially because it tends to be songs you've never heard of. They're unfamiliar.
And it also tends to be focused, at least thus far, on classes where you're not going to that class for the music necessarily. It's not
in the same way you would cycling, or running. Yeah, it's a very different. It's there, but it's more background rather than foreground.
Nobody leaves the spa having discovered a new artist.
I mean, I'm sure there are exceptions.
I'm sure someone has somewhere. But
I saw somebody already complain about us saying this. So yes, there are.
but first off, you're weird. I say that as someone who's weird in other ways.
Yeah.
You're weird in this way. Because all of that music sounds the same. Like But I know people say the same thing about metal or hip hop or what have you, but it's just so designed to not be listened to.
Again, it's background music, not foreground music, as opposed to a really catchy pop song.
Right.
That is definitely supposed to be foreground music and not background music.
Yeah.
They're two very different things. And so right now, Peloton has only made changes to classes that tend to be swapping these specific royalty-free songs out specifically in classes that are more background music driven than foreground music driven.
And they also seem to be doing it where it's not an entire class of that.
No.
It's like it's just sprinkled in to kind of, you got to assume, bring down the costs.
Yeah, I will say, though, there are people that, like, it just doesn't match the rest of the class. So when they're swapping it out, it feels noticeable to people because it's different.
Sure.
It's such a contrast than what else is being played on the playlist.
Gotcha.
Now, the other concern that I have is that the great Redditors think that you should just vote down the music on these, like, if you spot them. First of all, you need to go and make sure you're actually right, because these people are all calling it AI music, and
Right.
it's not AI music. It's royalty-free music, which is a different thing. So that's number one. Number two, if you are spotting it and it's bothering you, keep in mind there are 4 different ratings that happen on each of these classes, and none of us have any ideas how much it could affect the instructor's compensation by being perceived as having bad music
Right.
in their class.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are people that are like, well, but I'm only rating the music bad. I'm not rating the instructor bad. Well, you don't really know. You assume
Right.
that it's not affecting, but you don't actually know.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big risk for one of your favorite instructors. So
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there.
For sure.
I don't know. It's a really long way from where we were back in the day when we had no licensing for anything and Peloton had to go to court and pay
Yeah.
a shit ton of money to make everything right.
Yeah.
But let's also keep in mind how much better this is than the generic radio that's on Tonal. And I love Tonal.
Right. Yeah.
There's
Or-
also...
What you're going to get on other fitness platforms.
So Body, like, apparently, because I would never... Not Jennifer Jacobs ruined Body for me.
Yeah.
And it's an MLM, so I'm out in
Yeah.
multiple ways. But if you are doing Body, no shame to you. It's just my feelings. They apparently will play original music one time, and then after that, it's all just canned music. It's
Gotcha.
just canned, all of it. And I know for, gosh, I'm totally blanking on the name. It's like Aspire or something like that. It starts with an A, and they look like they're on their last leg. Like they haven't made new classes in months.
Yeah.
And people are really upset with them. It's all music that is canned. It's very limited. Even Hydro is pretty limited.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying therefore have no expectations with Peloton. I'm just saying that Peloton does have to watch their costs. We want Peloton to stay around, right?
Right.
Like everybody agrees. Well, I hope everyone listening to this podcast agrees. We want Peloton to stay around. And if you want Peloton to stay around, you might have to make some trades,
Yeah.
some concessions. Like it's not going to be your favorite artist in a meditation class. And that's every time. And
Right.
that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm okay with that. But also, I will completely be transparent and say music is not as big of a deal to
Right.
me as it is most people.
And I also understand people might be okay with it, but then have concerns about mission creep.
Absolutely.
That if this gets accepted, you just start to slowly see it seep into other modalities, or the proportion increases.
I think that is a very fair point,
Yeah.
and I think it's a fair concern. And I do think that's where the community can hold them accountable. And I think it does Peloton a disservice for them not to be more transparent about the changes they're making.
Yeah.
However, no matter how transparent they are or how minute the changes are, I also know they get shit. It does. I mean, I see just when I post about it,
Right.
because it's not me making these decisions,
Yeah,
how
but-
shitty people get.
They yell at you like you're them.
Some people do.
Some people do, yeah. And you know what? Just to wrap this up, maybe where we started discussing the disclaimer, maybe that's a little baby step towards
It
some
could
transparency.
be. I'm curious if we will see this in more classes,
Yeah.
because a lot of classes have come back with these new music in them, and we're not seeing that disclaimer.
Right.
At least this is the first I've heard of it. So I think that would be lovely. I think people would appreciate that if that were the case.
Absolutely. Well, coming up after this, we're going to get back to more Peloton stuff. We're going to talk about the interesting stock thing that happened to them that was actually good. We're going to talk about new ways that they're looking to hire people and some class rebrands. So stick around.
Flip out.
So Peloton stock has been added to the S&P SmallCap 600.
It's true. And the internet responded positively. They surged 7% after this was changed.
Awesome.
And it's effective officially on May 27th.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Wednesday.
Well, yeah.
And yeah, we're recording on Tuesday, by the way. And I thought that was really interesting. Apparently, historically, they have done well. This small cap has done well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a long time since anybody besides private holders or like some mutual funds, maybe a company here and there was like excited about having Peloton holdings.
Right.
You haven't seen this for a while.
Yeah.
So just in general, I feel like this is all really good news.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Peloton has been recruiting employees over on the Reddit.
Yeah.
Now this is for
The stores.
upcoming micro stores.
It is.
Pop-up stores, whatever they're calling them.
It is. Well, and you know what? It has now been deleted. So isn't that interesting?
I wonder if somebody got out ahead of themselves.
Well, listen, it's been posted on LinkedIn.
Uh-huh.
But LinkedIn is an official place to look for people to hire.
Right.
And an expected place Peloton has done many times. This is the first time any of us have seen a hiring notification on Reddit.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not that they got out ahead of the hiring, but maybe they got out ahead. They weren't supposed to be posting other places other than LinkedIn.
That's what I meant.
I was just clarifying. Not everybody might take it
for
that
sure,
way.
yeah.
So-
Or maybe they had so many people apply that they're good now.
You never
And
know.
they took it down.
Yeah. You never know. I see somebody said here, it's illegal to post a job in some of these states without the compensation listed. That could be why, too. Because when you do it on LinkedIn, you have official job notifications for each city.
Okay.
And so when you have to do the whole process, like if you say, I'm going to post one in Chicago,
right.
it'll lead you
Illinois'
through.
employment laws are a little different than,
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know. Somebody said it's a glitch, though, so who knows? Anyway, this was deleted, but there are several different cities that are hiring for micro stores. We have an article out about that. It was out from when the earnings call last came up, but it lists out all the cities that we expect
It's
Peloton.
like 8 or 9 of them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the next wave that we are going to see micro stores in.
So Peloton has rebranded the TS60 class.
Yes, instead of TS60, it is now Total Strength 60. Or just known as
I
Total
was going to
Strength.
say, I don't think it's a 60, right? It's just total strength because...
Well, that was part of the note that maybe it's being called Total Strength so that, without the number behind it, so that they can add different durations.
gives them some flexibility.
But the counter to that was it's still like that in the collection. It's that, except now it's called Total Strength 60 instead of just Total Strength. So maybe that's what's happening and they haven't removed the 60.
Yeah.
Certainly could be.
They forgot. They changed it in one place and not another.
But it had said TS 60.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It also could be exactly what the person thinks, that they're going to, leave this open for more durations. People sure ask for it all the time, so that wouldn't shock me.
Although, if there's a total strength 60 and a total strength 45, you got to think the 45 is only partial strength. It's 15 minutes less. They can't both be total. I mean, that's just math.
So they are going to take the number out. They have to take the number out if they include these other amounts. That's
just
the point.
Saying logically speaking.
I know, but all I'm saying is there's still a collection with the number 60 on it.
Yeah.
So I think it's getting ahead to say they're definitely adding different time frames to
For
this.
sure.
Maybe they are.
Maybe you'll see different collections based on time.
I mean, okay, listen, that's possible, but just today I was looking through the collections because I was looking for Nico's 5-year celebration collection.
Uh-huh.
And now they've moved all of the instructor celebration greatest hits, if you will, all the way down to the bottom. And it's a huge list. And now that list is alphabetized mostly.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Collections are kind of a hot mess
Yeah.
at Peloton. They really, that needs to be overhauled. I'm sure they know that. I'm sure they're aware of that. But good Lord, I hear complaints about it daily.
It's like when you're alphabetizing your movies. It's like you're doing everything alphabetical by title, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, wait, do I lump all the Marvel movies together? And then do I do them sequentially? Or do I still do them alphabetically? And then what do I file the Marvel movies under? Do I file them under Marvel? Do I file them under Iron Man? Avengers? I don't know.
Marvel.
It's a lot to take in.
It is.
It's a lot of stress on a nerd.
Hashtag nerd life.
Yeah. So Peloton has things going on for Global Running Day.
They do multiple things happening, but
You can't run the globe in a day.
fun thing
That's
is they're going to
impossible.
be doing a run in Toronto. We don't see a lot of events in Canada. I think we might have even mentioned this last week, but it's going to be a 5K. Peloton instructors are going to be there, and they're going to get to do a run together. There's also going to be one in New York City, hoping we're going to see one in London as well, all on Global Running Day. And then it truly will be global. How cool is that?
That's very cool. Hot take? Well, you're already skeptical of me. Look at that face. Oh, the YouTubers. They're so lucky to see the little sour faces
I'm
you
so
give me.
lucky you think that's cute.
Yeah. Okay, hot take.
Okay.
I think people that live in countries that use the metric system should have to measure the length of their marathons in miles. It only seems fair.
Well, they're going the same distance either way.
It just doesn't seem fair that we're like, 5K, what's that word? What's that mean really? Like,
3.2.
yeah. You gotta do math. Like,
Just start at the start line and finish at the finish line. That's all you got to worry about. Although I recently saw a half marathon where this chick took a left turn instead of a right turn.
I know she's supposed to be a NASCAR fan.
And she literally did a marathon on accident.
See?
Oopsie.
Whoops.
The only person. And still did a great time.
See, that's
She got like crazy time for a marathon.
that's why it's important to know those things.
It is.
Speaking of marathons, Peloton's chief technology officer, Francis Shanahan, was talking over on the LinkedIn because I think he was in a Wall Street Journal article about finishing the Cocodona 250. That's not metric. That's miles.
It's true. He he said that he had running, hiking, climbing, and tumbling across 250 miles in almost 40,000 feet of elevation.
Are you supposed to tumble, or did something happen?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
I've never
because
heard
it
of
was
a
on
marathon
LinkedIn.
where there was tumbling. So I'm just like, is everything okay there, Francis?
Well, I guess if it's 40,000 feet of elevation, there's going to be moments you might stumble up
Whoops.
or down the mountain.
Yeah.
And I loved this that he said. I thought this was so sweet and so like normal person
Yeah.
of him that he said that he was so grateful for Peloton's own Aditi Shah because her meditations are how he got through it. 113 hours.
Whoa.
Like, that's crazy. 250 miles over 113 hours.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, I was exhausted at the end of my very slow, arduous 7-hour marathon.
Yeah.
250 miles. I don't know that I'd make it back.
You'd still be there.
I would.
Yeah.
I would.
It'd be like when I went golfing. If there wasn't a maximum number of strokes per hole,
You would still be out there.
I would
and-
still be there to this day. Special message to the Cocodona 250.
Yeah.
It's actually 253.3 miles. So you were some lying sons of bitches. And I feel
Does it really say that somewhere? It's
that they're lying sons of bitches.
No, that it's
Oh.
2350.
It does. Because I was reading this article because with the notes I didn't really fully understand it. So
It's 253 miles.
that's what it said. And I'm just going by what it said. Like I don't know if it was in his post or the Wall Street Journal version, but and I was shocked and appalled that there is an extra 3.3 miles and you don't put it in the name.
Yeah.
Now that's what needs a disclaimer.
That's true.
And also, if you ran 253 miles, then you get to say it.
It's the Cocodona 253.4.
Yes. It's not that's like 250. Yeah, that's close enough. We'll just call it the 250 because it sounds better. I don't care how it sounds. I ran 253 miles, and you're going to give me every damn one of them.
Well,
every one of them.
I also need to point out that Francis actually ran this back in 2024.
Yeah.
But the Wall Street Journal is covering it now, which is why we're talking about it now.
That's why Prince is dead.
That's why we're
It's been
just
2
now
years.
hearing about it.
It's been 2 years, Wall Street Journal.
And it's shaped his approach as chief technology officer at Peloton. So I'm sure she's weaving all that in, not just the 250
Okay.
miles. So
Okay.
anyway, I know it's long overdue, but congrats.
Well
Francis.
done, Francis. This is probably more important to you than the medal.
I'm sure it is.
Is us talking about it right now.
He's going to go home and throw the medal away.
Probably.
He's going to be like, they mentioned me on the
He'll
clip
print out a transcript of this section. and
That's
he'll-
going up on the wall
And he'll
now.
frame that on the
Yeah.
hanging on the wall.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's happening. I mean, we're outshining Wall Street Journal for sure.
For sure. And he's going to cross out where it says 250.
253.4.
Yes.
Okay.
Instructors in the news.
Gentry. No longer running on roads.
I mean,
She's now trail training.
okay, so there's a lot here.
There's a lot to unpack.
There is. Apparently, they haven't been doing the Set the Pace podcast, or if they have, Becs has been away because she's been trail running.
Okay.
So that's
They
first
get,
thing.
don't get reception out there.
That's right. They don't. They actually probably don't. Now, recently she did the Canyons 50K. And so she was talking about that story, but she was talking about how she pivoted to trail racing because apparently running 7 marathons in 7 days burned her out of road running. She had nothing left. She said, I mean, can you imagine? First of all, she trained for that for like a freaking year.
Yeah.
And then did it, and then she was like, I don't want to run on the road anymore. I got nothing. She just wasn't feeling running. She wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah.
She said she really had to push through some classes. Like, really, like, she was not feeling it when
Yeah.
she was doing those classes. How much must that suck?
Yeah.
When that's your job.
And that's your job. And like, it's
Your
it's
livelihood.
kind of like every aspect of your life, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think this was kind of a big reveal because she has been talking here and there. She's made comments in classes and things like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm really nervous about it, yada, yada. So I think she was talking about the long distances of trail running that she was doing, but also just the fact that she was moving to trail running.
Right.
But I think somebody somewhere along the way either suggested or she had the idea all by herself that like, maybe if I change it up, I'll grow to love it again. And it worked, which is really cool.
And maybe a good lesson for all of us.
For real. Yeah. Yeah. I think that there is something very important there to remember.
I wonder if this might lead to new class types. I don't know how you do trail training on a treadmill, but if there's a way to figure it out, I bet she can.
Well, you never know. We might get some hike running instead. So
Yeah.
instead of it being like lower inclines, now we're going up, up, up.
They sell you branches to slap you in the face as you're running. I'll
And,
have to stand there while
also,
you're on the treadmill and slap you in the face with them.
They also sell a special mixture that you can put on your tread so that when you're running really fast, you like slide through it like it's mud.
It's bumpy.
Yeah, and you just slide down to the
Yeah.
bottom of your tread and fall.
Doesn't sound dangerous at all.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Jess Sims has a rare 60-minute walk-run class for people.
She's only done 4 of these. Now, it's a 60-minute class. That's the important part.
Right.
But she's only done 4 of these. There's only 4 of them on the platform. She may have done more that have been purged.
Yeah.
But there are only 4 on the platform.
Okay.
So this is rare. This is a good moment. Take this walk plus run. You don't know when you're getting another 60-minute
Okay.
from Jess Sims.
And they could swap it out for a 40-minute run
You just never know.
because she charged him more money for a 60.
She could have.
Yeah. Sam Yo making the media rounds to support his new book.
He is. He had kind of a kickoff to the kickoff of the tour. So he hit some news outlets. I mean, and when I say that, like, big things, you know, he did some really big stuff. There was an event on May 17th at PSNY, and the event was actually moderated by Dennis Morton.
Oh, cool.
But even cooler than that, there was a fireside chat, an audience Q&A, and a set of mindful practices. Here's the fun part. He was staying with Dennis while he was in New York City. How cute is that?
That's adorable.
I just think that is adorable.
Yeah.
And so he also he spoke at the Women's Wear Daily Beauty CEO Summit on May 13th in Palm Beach. And he talked about his book. And of course, there's also all kinds of tour dates. So San Francisco, Denver, Chicago, Washington, D.C., New York, and Boston. So going back to what does the night involve? Because it's not just signing a book.
Right.
It's a whole evening. And he said, this was an exclusive from Sam Yo, not verbally, but he wrote it to me.
Yes.
So I'm taking it.
Well, if he had done speech to text, it could be verbal.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. He said, think part mindfulness experience, part conversation, part mini TED Talk, something designed to leave you with more than a signed copy of a book. Not an interview, something deeper. And of course, VIP ticket holders are also going to get a dedicated meet and greet that they're going to have real time with Sam to connect, talk, and have their books personalized. But Sam is hoping that beyond the VIP experience, that there will be ways to engage with people more throughout the evening so the connection does not stay confined to one tier of ticket. So we're going to have a guest moderator at each stop along the way.
Mm-hmm.
In Chicago, Christin D'Ercole will be there. How cool is that?
Very cool.
And we'll find out who the other moderators were very soon, I'm sure.
Awesome. Well, speaking of Christine, she gave us an update on her new book in one of her classes.
She did. She announced that her book is done. It is now complete. So hopefully that means we'll see it in about a year or so. These things take forever.
They do.
That is not anything Christine is
Yeah,
doing wrong. I just want to be really clear about
Publishing
that.
process is slow. Zacharias is rumored to be appearing.
We got it. We got to use a different word than rumor.
Okay. We are asking ourselves,
Is it possible?
could we be seeing him in Antoni Porowski's, I don't know who that is,
His boyfriend?
new travel show?
Okay. So apparently his boyfriend is a big damn deal.
Okay.
Not in a world we know, but we are in Missouri.
Okay.
But apparently this guy is a big deal
Okay.
in the travel, like in just the entertainment world in general.
Gotcha.
Okay. So this Antoni, he has a brand new show coming out and it's going to be traveling around the world and he's going to do like all these kind of like hidden gem things in
Okay.
cities that like he might go to London, which isn't a very hidden gem, right? But he might do things in London
Right.
that you don't get to see.
Right. He's not just going to ride the Ferris wheel and get his picture taken in a telephone booth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't think so. Anyway, but there have been multiple posts lately where the couple together is getting buzz about how they travel the world together. They're always shirtless and showing their his abs.
Gotcha.
And they're kind of too perfect to be realistic. Like it's not fair that much beauty is in one couple. Okay.
Which is why I'm here for us to bring down the curve.
I mean, neither of us are touching what they got going on. But anyway, so the thought was, could he, with all these travels coming up, be showing up in this new series?
I mean, if the show's about him traveling, it stands to reason
maybe.
that his partner's there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I should pull up the Instagram and tell you what the name of it is. Best of the World with Antoni Porowski. And it premieres Saturday, June 7th. And of course, they've been traveling. You know, you have to do all these
Right.
things ahead of time.
Yeah.
Also worth noting, it's on National Geographic, also part of Disney Plus.
Right.
Peloton has a partnership with Disney. I'm just saying,
All the synergistic stars are aligning.
if they missed out on this opportunity, that was stupid.
Yes.
That's
How
that.
unlike Peloton to miss out on an
Well,
opportunity.
I would say maybe Disney was the stupid one here.
Okay.
All right.
That's fair. They've done stupid things before. They released Mars Needs Moms.
That's true. That should not have happened.
Rebecca Kennedy has teamed up with Dr. Jaime for a live event.
Yeah, Jaime Shear, Dr. Jaime Shear. And it's important to note that Jaime Shear is like Peloton's nutritionist on their little board that they have.
Okay.
I call it their little board just because it has an official name and I don't remember what that official name
So
is.
you went with Little Board.
Yeah, it seemed
Okay.
super condescending and not at all what I was going for. But yeah, they have a board and it's like all kinds of people who are experts in their field. And Dr. Jaime is Peloton's nutrition expert.
Gotcha.
And so Rebecca Kennedy and Dr. Jaime have been working on things, but now they're doing their first live event taking place in Connecticut on June 12th. And it looks like there's going to be more to come.
Okay. Ash Pryor is going to speak at NAMICon
NAMICon.
20 2026.
Yes, and I know this was not on our list, but that's because it was late-breaking information. Apparently, Chelsea Jackson Roberts will be there as well.
Okay.
She will also be speaking, and this all takes place in Atlanta.
And this is about mental health.
It is, yes,
for people
because
who aren't familiar.
NAMI is National Alliance of Mental Illness.
Okay.
Or something. Maybe
Something
there's an institute in there instead of illness.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Okay. And then finally, this week's interview.
Yes.
Kristen McGee will be teaching at the Bryant Park Yoga Festival.
Yes, and we've talked about some of our other instructors that will be there, but Kristen was going to be later in the run. We just found out about that, so wanted to make sure we included it.
Absolutely. Coming up after this, we're going to talk about the latest artist series, and we're going to hit content so you know all the classes that are out there for you to take, so stick around.
Peloton Artist Collaborations.
The latest artist series features Prodigy.
It does, but I should also say that's kind of like the main June artist.
Mm-hmm.
There are other, we don't know why, but there are other artists that were featured that for whatever reason didn't get on our list today, but they are, and I can't find them.
I wonder if Jess King, who loves the EDM, as we all know, if she's excited about Prodigy, or if Prodigy is like so popular in the world of EDM that it's just like, ugh.
I don't know anything about Prodigy. I've heard the name.
I mean, that was back when it was called electronica from in the 90s.
So, is there a song I would know?
Smack My Bitch Up.
Oh, I do remember that song.
And before people get upset, don't worry. It's not about domestic abuse. It's about heroin.
I mean.
So everything's okay.
They're also, Brandi Carlile is also coming up this month, and Robin. And Robin and I believe Brandi Carlile are going to overlap with Pride Month.
Gotcha.
Okay.
New content.
Okay, it is time for the TCO Top 5. You have told us your favorite classes, and now here they are. Number 1, your favorite strength class.
Breaking news.
Wait, we're interrupting the TCO Top 5. We have breaking news now.
We do.
This will have been around for a while by the time you hear it, but it's breaking news for us. It's happening right now. Peloton has a new CFO.
They do. It is Siddharth, but he's also known as Sid
Okay.
Thacker. His position will be effective on June 22nd. He is an accomplished finance leader with a deep foundation as institutional investor. He is going to be overseeing global finance for Peloton as well as corporate strategy. And he will help Peloton maintain its disciplined financial approach while also pursuing broader market opportunities across fitness and wellness. He most recently was at Rent the Runway. So he was CFO there.
Okay.
Now he's going to be CFO here. He also was there for 3 full years, and he led a significant financial and operational transformation that reset the company's balance sheet and drove a return to top-line revenue and subscriber growth. Go Sid.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Well,
We're ready.
Congrats to him.
Absolutely.
We now return you to the TCO Top 5 already in progress.
Clip out.
And that's your unstackable. So turning to...
No.
What?
No.
It was in progress. It happened the whole time we were talking about that.
Okay.
Okay, number 1, you already know this one. It's your favorite strength class.
It's Rebecca Kennedy teaching a 30-minute glutes and leg strength. Kate Govnick said, I loved Rebecca's legs and strength glutes class from April 30th. The energy was so fun, and the dance breaks in between reps was perfect. I left sweaty and feeling like I got a great leg workout while still having fun and laughing.
Okay, number 2, your favorite walk run.
Okay, this was taught by Logan Aldridge. It was a 30-minute, and it aired on May 25th. Courtney Stroud had to say, I loved Logan's Walk Plus Run from today, American themed with excellent programming and message. For those of you looking for Memorial Day classes, here is an example.
There you go. Number 3, your favorite ride.
This was taught by Jess King on May 22nd. It was a 30-minute deep house ride. Tiffany Cortez said, I was genuinely surprised when she said it's time for the descending recovery. I felt like we were halfway through. She programmed it perfectly that I was totally immersed in the ride. I will be taking more of her house rides.
Number 4, your favorite hit ride.
This was taught by Emma Lovewell. It was a 30-minute hit ride, and it was taught on May 27. Christin D'Ercole said that she loved the playlist, and this class really pushed her.
And finally, your unstackable. It is a hit run.
It is taught by Robin Arzon.
She does not appear to have yellow on, but it's
Well,
still
I
unstackable.
believe that belt.
Oh, is the belt yellow?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Ah,
And
sneaky.
I know. And it was a 30-minute hit run. And Laura Hobbs said, here's your unstackable. Robin Arzon's 30-minute hit class from 518, designed to be more of a sprint interval training class. It pushed me to run faster than I ever thought possible. I feel like a badass.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, very much.
Peloton is gearing up for Pride Month.
We're going to have so many classes in June. I love all these classes. I love Pride. I love that people get into this and have fun. I'm hoping maybe we'll see some Peloton apparel. We haven't seen any Pride apparel in a long time.
Okay.
But there are going to be, Camila is going to be teaching classes. We're going to have a Brandy Carlisle class or 2 or 8. We will also have classes with Marcel Dinkins, Maddie Majacomo, Mariana Fernandez, all going to be teaching Pride classes. And that's just what we know. Those are the ones we know so far. We're going to see even more coming up.
Peloton has added even more High Rocks content for you.
They have, yeah. 2 interesting things came up here. 5 different classes on the schedule that are all live this week for High Rocks. There's a recovery flow, there's a full body strength, there's a full body stretch, a shakeout ride, and a shakeout run just in time for High Rocks New York.
Awesome.
There's also these 2 very cool High Rocks events that are happening live at Pier 76, Hudson River Park.
Okay.
Pier 76, excuse me. I don't know anything about Peloton. Just kidding. I thought that the Hudson River was separate from the pier, but apparently it's Hudson River's Pier 76.
Ah, I see.
Okay, so
I guess that makes sense. That's where the pier, but the pier could also be on an ocean. So yeah.
well, we went to Pier 39 that
Yeah.
one time, so I don't know.
Who knows?
It's surrounded by, like, Manhattan's surrounded by water, right?
Yeah.
So
It's an island and all.
exactly. But these, there are going to be 2 events on June 2nd. They're going to have working sessions open to all fitness level, no race registration. You just show up and move.
Okay. Christian Vandevelde is back with a new real route.
Yes, this one takes place in his hometown, his home area, Blue Ridge Parkway.
And then finally, Peloton has a new posture program.
Yeah, and look at this. Taught by the Germans.
Oh.
And I say that I'm excited for them because so many times they don't get to do something first.
Right.
This is the first posture program Peloton has had, and the German contingent is leading the way, and I am so excited for them. That's very cool. It's going to be 7 days. There's going to be 11 classes, and you're going to have several different instructors that are going to be available teaching you about posture.
Peloton birthdays.
We have not 1, not 2, but 3 birthdays this week.
Goodness.
First up, Jess King on May 29th.
Ah.
She wraps up our May birthdays. Leads us into June. It's already June. Irene Scholes on June 3rd.
Who's no longer a Peloton instructor.
And then on June 4th, Rad Lopez.
Well, happy birthday to Jess, Irene, and Rad.
Yes. So we would normally wrap up here, but we will not because we're going to talk to Kristen McGee. So here she is.
Checking in with the Peloton community.
Joining us today via the magic of ZoomTube, it's Kristen McGee. Hey, how's it going?
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
Oh
you
my
for
gosh.
doing this. This has been a long time coming.
It's been a long time coming, finally.
I know. Tell us all the things. What have you been up to? What's going on?
Okay, well, first of all, I love how you've always been so supportive and amazing since my days at Peloton. You are always so wonderful and commenting and just incredible and supportive to everyone. And also, I love that you're supportive to all brands. Like, you're very encompassing and inclusive. So I also love the fact that you not only have Peloton, but you also have Tonal. And I also want to hear your story because who was it that was telling me that like Tonal has changed your life? I don't know if that's true or not. But anyways, so 6 years at Peloton, amazing. Absolutely loved it. You know, I don't know if you know this backstory of how it all started. I had done a campaign with Robin in 2015. She and I were both working for C9 by Target. It was Champions brand at Target. she and myself and a Dallas, and there's one other guy who was there with us. He was amazing as well. We did this big campaign. And 3 years later, I reached out to Robin because I had noticed Colleen Seidman was doing yoga, some yoga classes on the Peloton app. So I said, hey, Robin, would you be interested in doing more yoga? And at first she was like, oh, I don't think so. And then she said, yeah, come on in and audition. So I auditioned in that May and June of 2018, was the first yoga hire in 2018 of July, like the official. I think Colleen was more just contracted. And then Anna came on, and then Aditi came on, and the three of us launched. And the rest was history, because it was such a wild ride to see just how we started. Because it was so different when we first started. The treadmill and yoga were in a different space. Cycling was on 23rd Street. Then the pandemic hit, and then that's right when the big super studio was opening. And then we moved to that gorgeous super studio in Hudson Yards. And you just had such an amazing time. And so then in 2024, things were like shifting in my own personal relationship and with my three young boys that I was raising full time. And there was a few contract negotiations, and it was just, I was trying to make it work, but it just became difficult too. And so, as hard of decision as it was, I was like, okay, I'm just going to put my family first. I'm going to pivot and figure out what I can do, with my boy, like for my boys first and foremost, and then see what happens next. So, and my relationship at Peloton, unfortunately, not my relationships there, because I still am in touch with all the instructors and love everyone there and the students, but was under a year non-compete, and kind of sat out and was waiting to figure out what to do next. And that's when Tonal had approached me, and I said, I have this year non-compete. They're like, that's okay. You could start with us in August of 2025. And mine ended in June of 2025. And in the meantime, I just started writing on Substack because I knew I could write and start sharing things. And so then that evolved into people asking me to create content. So I started my app, my movement app, just to be able to continue to create classes that people were asking me for. And I wrote the book. So I actually wrote two books. One was somatic exercises, and the other is the treat yourself philosophy, which I need to make sure I get you copies of both. So when we're done, I'll make sure I send them.
You are so sweet.
I was
I have
that was way too long.
no, it's not too long. You've done a lot. I mean, I can't believe that it's been, first of all, 2 years since you left Peloton. That's
No.
crazy. I want to go back for just a second. You said that was a really hard decision, and we all could see that it was a hard decision. Like, we could see through your posts and the things you were doing how difficult it was. And like, I'm sure that you have heard from people like me being like, we miss you. We want you to come back. But are you, now that time has passed and you're doing all these other things, are you feeling like this was the right thing for your family? Was that the right call?
Definitely think so. There are so many moments where I'm like, oh, I just miss that energy. Having the music was always so fun for me because I love music. I grew up in a musical family, and playlisting and being able to move to the music was so amazing. And obviously the community and the people you meet and the widespread impact you can have. I'll hear from people all over the world. My kids do your classes. My son meditates with you at night. You got me through pregnancy. You got me through death. You got me through divorce. You got, that kind of stuff is just incredible. I do think, as far as being a full-time single mom in New York City and trying to raise my boys fully there independently, it would have just been so much for me. I do have the most incredible nanny. She's incredible, but I just think it would have been so stressful. And so ultimately being able to get my boys to nature, get out and not have to live full-time in the city, and then also to spread my wings in a new way is very challenging, because when you're in a job and you get really comfortable with it, and it's like, for me, it's very easy to like playlist and make a cool class and get on camera. I love it. Right. But it became very like routine. And so now that I have to do all these new things on my own, it's really testing my brain. It's making me learn new skills, even just uploading classes and Uscreen and learning how to build my own app and all of those kind of things. I think it's really good for my brain. It's gotten me to think outside the box and actually have to myself in new ways. Like we talk about on Peloton, stepping outside of your comfort zone and learning new things. So I think that's been really good for me. It's hard because you don't have that kind of or company underneath you, but it is also very rewarding and freeing, because unlike driving a giant like ship that takes a long time to get somewhere. If you're in like a little skidoo or a little speedboat, you can pivot really quickly. So you can learn and pivot and adjust. And I can create classes really quickly for people that ask for specific things. And then also having Tonal is a godsend because they are such an amazing company to work for. And it gives me that city fix because I go into the city to work for them. And I find that it's nice because it's still a bit of a smaller company. And so everyone just feels like we're in that phase of building together and really collaborative, and everyone's super kind and supportive.
I
And
know.
the machine,
I
like I get such great
I
benefits from
love Tonal. It's amazing. And I love the Pilates content that you have added, the strength
you.
content you have added. It has been great. The program that you had with the Pilates and the strength combined, that was amazing. Amazing.
And that's
I
a really good combo, the 2 Pilates, 2 strength every week.
Yeah, I feel like for my starting to mid 40s, late 40s, it feels really nice for my body to be able to do
Yes,
that.
yes.
So how familiar were you with Tonal prior to going to work there?
That's a very good question. I had seen and heard of it, but I hadn't really spent much time on the machine working out with it. And my first experience, remember we went through that whole Tonal, the training lab, the pop-up lab. They had
Yes.
wanted me to teach just some regular in-person yoga classes, but not on Tonal, which I thought was fine because it was in person. It wasn't related to anything, but I was still under the non-compete, and Peloton was like, no, 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 you can't do that. So I was like, okay, sorry, sorry, sorry. Um, but I did get to experience the equipment then, and I was like, wow, this is such cool equipment. I love it. And so I was fortunate enough that they held out and waited for me to end my non-compete. And then it was even better timing because they said, hey, guess what? We're not just going to bring you in for strength, but we're actually developing these loops that you can put on Tonal and make it like a reformer. So now we'll do Pilates with you. So
You
there's
are
all the
blowing
things
my mind.
raising. That was like a blessing in disguise because it was better, I think, for us to launch when we had all of that too.
Okay, the way I imagined it happened was that you guys had it all planned out way in advance and you knew all about the Pilates stuff
Oh my gosh, isn't
way in
that
advance.
cool? I wish.
Yes.
No, I mean, there was kind of talks about it, but none of that had been, they were just developing the loops. And that's also why it took so long for people to get their loops. I don't
See,
know if you
Right.
shortage.
the way I imagined it was Kristen walked in and was like, if there's not Pilates, I am
Doing
walking.
it. I'm out of here.
And they
That's
said,
funny.
yes, ma'am. We're on it.
I
So
love that.
how often do you go in and film content for Tonal now?
Just about every other month, sometimes almost once a month if it's a little more regular, if there's things that are being planned. But for now, it's almost an every other month routine. And then I'll go in and we shoot a lot in 1 week because I'm only there for a limited time. So I'm fortunate they'll let me do it that way, but I'll, shoot maybe 5, 6 classes in a day.
That's
And here's a secret. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell this or not, but maybe I am. But we don't put like my full strength mode on for every class. Because if I
Oh,
did have to lift 100% and teach 6 classes in a row, you'd be pretty dead. So they can adjust
that
it so
makes
that it's even on Tonal, you can even do
it
that, right?
is.
Yeah,
It
you go
is,
to
yeah.
recovery mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Recovery mode. So it's kind of like I'm lifting in recovery mode when I'm filming.
That makes a lot of
That makes-
sense.
And I've noticed that with other instructors on
Yes.
Tonal.
Yeah, you're not
that-
alone.
that,
Okay.
like the camera will pivot and you can see what weight they're on, and I'm just like, there's no way Joe Rodanis lifts like 3 more pounds than I do. Like, that's just
You're like, no, he's got to be lifting more.
mathematically that makes no sense.
I know.
Yeah.
And sometimes Kendall Wood, her when she does, I always notice this with glute bridges for whatever reason, the hip thrusters where she has the
Yes.
barbell, and it's on max, and then you'll see 5 minutes later it's no longer on max, and you're like, what is happening?
That's funny.
That's
But
great.
but yeah, it makes total sense. It's no different than when like a bike instructor at Peloton, they're not using the full resistance
True. If they have to
every
do that many
class.
classes.
Yeah, like it's just not realistic. Yeah.
Not. And we wouldn't want you guys to rip up your bodies like that. We want you to be healthy and keep doing this for a long time.
Well, and that's why I truly do love Tonal because it feels like it's the type of workouts you can do forever, and it intuitively works with your body and calibrates for you. And so I think it's for our, like you were saying, still in my age and phase of life, it's so great for longevity, bone density, muscle mass, endurance, strength, all of those things.
It is.
And
And
I love that
you
we are able to do some of the off tonal, the yoga, the Pilates. I just did a kids class that went really well for the Star Wars Mandalorian collaboration. So that was
oh,
fun.
So,
fun.
the most important question, did you get to meet Grogu?
No, I wish. Couldn't that have been amazing?
Okay, I didn't know that Grogu was a separate character. I thought Grogu was simply Baby Yoda. In my head, this whole time, he's just been Baby Yoda, and Tom crushed my
I'm like,
all
you're
of my knowledge.
married to a nerd.
I
How did you
know.
not
How
I
could you?
pick this up through osmosis? Honestly, though, I think that's why they call the movie The Mandalorian and Grogu, because so many people are still like Baby Yoda, and so I
Oh,
think they're trying to stop that.
I
makes
think
sense.
you're probably right.
Yeah.
But okay, so to get back to this though. So you're doing tonal, you're doing your app. Your app has been out, gosh, how many months now?
Almost, let's think. That was maybe September or October.
Okay.
Because I also needed to like wait out my Peloton and then start filming content and then find a provide like label. I didn't do my own custom made app, which would have been very expensive. And I just wanted to test it out at first and also kind of see where that goes, right? It's very nice again to be able to create my own content and have my own content out there. Um, but I wasn't at the time, I also didn't know that I'd be working for Tonal. So it's a lot of, it's like always kind of, I feel like when you're an entrepreneur, you're just kind of trying things out, seeing what sticks, also
Yeah.
diversifying, right? So that you have a lot of different kind of income resources and ways to provide for your family.
For sure, but it all takes time. So, I
Yeah.
mean, yes, you were doing all of these things in the background. Like people didn't know about Tonal for the longest time because you couldn't tell anybody. And then, you couldn't tell everybody about your app before it's ready to go. So, like, how hard is that to juggle all of those things as a single mom? It's like you still got to take care of the kids.
I know it takes a village. And so I'm lucky when I have all of this support, like friends, family members that will come and help, like people who will help me. That's amazing. I don't think I could do it without all of that support. And then I think it's a lot that, I mean, I'm going to say this is going to sound silly, but I think it's that I rely on my meditation practice so much that I never have stopped this twice daily meditation since 2021-ish, maybe 20. I just find that being able to meditate every morning first thing and then having that midday break really helps me stay just focused, relaxed, positive, because it's so easy for our brains to spiral into the what ifs and if this doesn't work and how am I going to provide and oh my gosh. And so I think that having this baseline kind of stress reducer that can really help me stay sane and balanced and level headed is really helpful. Because at the end of the day, too, I was watching someone the other day who was talking about just being delusionally optimistic and how it's very important. Um, at the end of the day, if you just keep thinking it will all work out, no matter what I end up doing or how it ends up, going, which way I really start to find my direction, it will all work out.
I love that. I really struggle with that. So I'm like, I hear you. My brain rejects it, but I hear you and I know that it's important.
Hmm. And my boys are very wonderful kids. I am very blessed. They
They seem
really,
like it.
they're so helpful and great. And, not to say that they never fight, but they're pretty dang good kids. They're very respect, they respect people, they're kind to people. Um, they help me out. So I think that's good.
How old are they?
I have 12-year-old and 9-year-old twins,
Okay.
Oh.
all boys.
S- I was like 12-year-old and 9-year-old twin. I was like, that's a long labor. And then, oh, okay. That makes more sense. That's the
Yep.
9-year-olds that are twins. That's plural. Okay.
Yes.
So, do they do yoga? Do they meditate, or is that just dumb mom stuff?
No, I think that Robert, one of my twins especially, he'll come in sometimes when I'm sitting and want to sit with me and close his eyes. I think he feels that nervous system regulation just from sitting next to me. And then they all have the mantras that I share with them. Oftentimes we share those peace begins with me, magic fingers, peaceful fingers. We try and like it was funny because his teacher had said something to him that really upset him. And I just reminded him that we all have bad days and it's probably she was maybe having a bad day. You have to remember that she's human. And my friend, I guess, he was telling her that story. She's like, I can't believe how like mature he is. And she's like, I would have been like, oh man, that teacher, I'm gonna go, And she's like, here you are telling him, like, give her some grace because everyone has bad days. And it's like things like that. So it's funny. Like I don't even realize sometimes when that's what's coming from me, right? But they used to do a lot more yoga with me. Unfortunately, they're not doing as much of the yoga these days, but they do ninja, like climbing wall and rock climbing stuff and hanging from bars. And as a matter of fact, one of mine took first place. So he's got like regional competition for ninja. And then my older son and my younger boys, they all play tennis and ski. So they all are athletic, but yoga, maybe they'll get back into it. I think it'd be fun at some point to really reintroduce them.
Yeah. It's nice that you don't push them though. Like, I feel like when you have with kids, it's like no matter what their parents do, the kid is just so like over it. It doesn't matter. So it's like
That's
if you
true.
push that, it makes it worse. So
Yeah,
they'll circle
exactly.
back.
When they ask me about it and want to do it themselves, that's when yes, exactly.
Yeah. So what else is going on? Do you feel like you have all the things lined up and you can just like breathe and enjoy the making the classes, the doing the tonal, or are there still things you're working on?
That's a good question. I think my personality is always to be trying to make things that much better or do just like so much more than I want to. Like app members will ask me for specific classes and I want to do like prenatal Pilates for one, and I want to do menopause this for another, and yoga for bad back. And like, there's just so many things I want to shoot. So for me, it's hard to like hone in and focus in and just get strategic, but having like a map and a calendar and an outline has been helpful. And that tonal is actually wonderful because it is very mapped out. It's like these classes you're going to teach when you come. This is what you need to choreograph or fill in. Much easier when you have someone who's in production and can lay it out for you and you just show up and perform. At home, it's a much harder. First, you have to get motivated. You have to find the time and the energy and make sure your lighting looks right. And then once you're done filming, then you have to edit it yourself and upload it and tag it and describe it. So it's a little bit harder. I think that I'm still trying to figure out and
Yeah,
really get into
that's
a better rhythm of a content calendar on my own. And then you have
it's
the
a
whole
lot of
social
work.
media beast, which
Amen.
there's one thing I could give up, it would be social media. But it's
I agree.
yeah,
You should
not all so
you're
bad. Look at this is how we meet. This is how people meet and connect. And it's really wonderful in that respect. But you can also get kind of sucked into the scrolling or kind of the doomsland of like, wow, why is my stuff not resonating right now? Or people aren't finding me. But I think it's maybe just a lot of people are feeling that way.
more segmented it gets, the harder it is for you to be found, for any one person to be found. And
True.
there are all these unspoken rules, don't you need to post a lot, but don't post too much and don't do this kind of thing. And they're changing it every day. They literally change it every day. So it's hard to keep up with.
Mhm. It really is. I know I feel you too. There'd be like a time where no, don't post that many in feed. Oh no, post all the time. Post twice a day. Post every day. You're like, okay, I don't know what to do.
Depends on
So
the day.
my recommendation, what I found to be very effective, is one who will do all that. That's
Exactly.
what I've
Very
done.
secret.
Well,
Yes.
that is one way to make that happen. Yes.
Yeah.
Christine, my next husband, and he's going to be like a social media guru. I'll let him take care of it all.
That's
And maybe a
funny.
cameraman and a producer. And not kidding.
Too funny. So what part of the country, if you're comfortable saying, are you living in now?
So we moved out of New York, and I grew up in Sun Valley, Idaho. I mean, in Pocatello, Idaho, which is very near Sun Valley. So a lot of my family is like in the Sun Valley, southeastern Idaho area. So when I first just felt like I couldn't live in New York anymore, I just went there to kind of be with family and have that support. And so we're still kind of figuring it out exactly where we want to like end. There's a part of me that still wonders now that I'm back at Tonal if will we want to move back to New York City? Like now that I have maybe a cushion and all these different, job opportunities and stuff, or would we want to be closer to New York City? Always are they love being around family and they love nature, but they also one of them's a total like musician, talented actor. He was he performed in an opera. And
Wow.
so I could see him going to LaGuardia High maybe, or so it's kind of, I think we're a little bit in this, like, let's see where we definitely want to end up and settle. But it's nice in the short term to have family,
For sure.
close by.
Yeah, that's
All my
def-
cousins, my brothers, aunts, uncles, grandparents, all of that. And that's been so nice for the kids. And it's neat to see them with before that, like they really able to see their relatives as much or as close.
yeah, it's not a short trip, and when you're busy, it's hard to coordinate all that. So I totally get that. My
Exactly.
family only lives a couple hours away, and they're not
Oh,
as
you're so
close as
lucky.
it's still not as much as I wish that my kids could have grown up more around the family when they were
Yes.
younger, but it is what it is.
And
So,
how old are your kids now?
well, the youngest is 19, and I know it's crazy. And Brian's 21. He'll be 22 in
Oh
August.
my
So,
gosh.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah. And they're both in college, so that's a fun experience too. We are empty nesters, so that's been
Wow.
weird.
Yeah, I bet. That's a whole different thing. Wow.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
funny how quickly you get used to it, though.
It
Do
is.
Because
It's
then
you?
they come
true.
home and you're just like, it's great to have you home, but um, we have our own routine now.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I wanted to circle back around to you had said something at the beginning about Tom's tonal journey. So you heard about Tom's tonal journey from someone?
Never told me, but someone said that Tom lost a lot of weight and got found tonal and was just like, you're a rock star. That's awesome.
Well, yeah, when we first interviewed the founder of Tonal, they were kind enough to send us one and so it showed up and I was just like, well, this is interesting. And so I messed around with it and which I hate exercise and I guess it's been what, 6 years, 6.5 years.
Yeah.
And I can say honestly, I still do absolutely no joy whatsoever. When people talk about the dopamine and like none of it, like it is just boring and I can't stand it. But I like the results and so I just kind of power through. But yeah, I started messing with the tonal and then we started working with MetPro to kind of teach you how to eat better and their plan was you need to exercise and I was like, well, once I start dropping this weight, like I got to let people know that I've been exercising. I had been doing it in secret. I hadn't told anybody. Crystal knew, but like publicly. And so I was just like, well, I guess I got to tell people because it's not fair for me to make people think I'm losing weight just through diet. Like that's lying to people. And so yeah, I had to come out as someone who exercises.
Yeah,
I
but
So
he
love it.
lost 70 pounds and he's gained
Wow.
so much muscle. I
yeah.
know, it's crazy.
Cool.
If you look back on our wedding pictures and like he weighed the same amount on our wedding day as he does now, and it's like he looks so much thinner now because he has changed his composition of his
Yeah.
Body
body so much.
composition. Yes, that's incredible.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly I think right now being the same weight as our wedding day, I think I probably look about 20 pounds lighter. If you were to guess,
So what are some of your favorite programs? Do you do programs? Do you do classes? Do you
so I only do programs.
Okay.
And as I about it, and I feel like if I have to go down and pick I say down because ours is in the basement.
So is mine.
If I have to go downstairs to pick something, I'll get distracted, and then I'll just be like, and I'll leave. So like I'm always in a program, and just go down and I hit next, and so um, I just kind of drift from program to program. Right now, I'm
Okay.
doing extreme accumulation. I
I
think.
believe that is correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Take it. I should do a program. I'll check one out. Tell me which one you
Yeah.
think I should take.
I can't remember the names because I pick
Go
one.
down and do 'em.
Yeah, and I go down and do them. And so like almost always do a 4-week program
Okay.
so I don't have because this is 4 weeks, I don't have to think about it. And so I've done all the 12-week programs. So
Great.
I've done the 12 weeks to Jacked and then what's the other one that's 12
Well,
weeks?
12 weeks unleashed or something like
Something
that.
like that. And then
That keeps you very consistent.
yeah, and so I'm like 5 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Um,
consistent.
Yeah.
So,
He does a
That's
great job.
I love
yeah.
it.
And now for a while there at Peloton, I remember you ran a marathon. Are you still incorporating running into your routine?
I'd say my main buckets, and that's what's on my app, is the Flow Sculpt Connect. So Flow, my yoga, the Sculpt, that's a lot of Pilates, some strength. I've been adding some strength workouts to my app that people love, some heavier strength workouts. And then the connection is that mind body connection, the meditation, the breath work. And then as far as cardio, so yes, I ran that marathon in 2024, the London Marathon. That kicked my butt. I loved it. And I loved having a goal to train for. But running for me isn't an incredible exercise on a daily basis. I don't have an ACL in my right knee. I blew it out skiing years ago. And I've noticed that like hiking, a lot of walking on an incline. Sometimes I jump on this little rebounder that I have. Cycling with my boys, we go on bike rides. I go rollerblading with my other son, and I ski. So I'm noticing that a lot of just these like daily movement activities have been better for me. I don't know if you notice that as well, like in perimenopause, menopause, the higher intensity stuff isn't as great on my body. And I find that if I lean into strength and just these great walks, I feel really good.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of frustrating because I feel like I get tired more easily. Like the recovery doesn't come as easily as it used to.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's kind of annoying.
Creatine.
So I do. I take the creatine. I only take it on days that I work out.
Or not really.
I do think it does. I just think that the problem is that I only take it on days that I actually work out. And so because I mix it in with my pre-workout, I do all the things in one drink. And so then because of that, if I'm not working out, I don't take it. So then I think that I think I could be more consistent is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. It's the one supplement I found that I think might be doing something. Again, it's hard to tell with supplements because there's so many of them, and it's like which one is actually doing its thing. But I have been pleasantly surprised with creatine.
I love the fact that creatine has had the most studies done. So and it's been proven that it does work. So I don't feel weird about taking creatine at all.
See, when you talk about your recovery aspect, this is the advantage of not starting to work out until you're like in your 50s, is because I have no healthy activity to compare it to. So
you're like, I don't know how I recovered when I was young.
Like, yeah, it's not like, man, I was 25. I could do, no, I have no idea. So like, I'm only getting better.
Love it.
Well, I guess we want to be respectful of your time. So before we let you go, is there anything that you want to talk about that we haven't gotten to yet?
Oh, one other thing is the book, The Treat Yourself Philosophy, that I
Yes.
decided to send one to you, but the just text. So the acronym is truly realizing everything is already there. And it's about tapping into what we have inside of us that to feed ourselves with things that are going to bring us joy and giving ourselves a treat every day and not thinking of treat in a negative way. So often I think we think of a treat like a piece of chocolate, a cake, ice cream, it's like all these like food treats, which are great and you can incorporate those. But to get people to think outside the box and to create a 30-day treat sheet. So every day for 30 days, you have to treat yourself to something different and you have to think outside the box, so it's not just physical treats, but there's mental treats and emotional treats and spiritual treats. And you can use your five senses. There's things that help our hearing, our vision, our sense of smell, our taste, our feel, right? Even just the treat of like, maybe I wrap myself in a cozy blanket tonight, or I'm going to turn on some classical music when I walk in the door, or I'm going to light a candle that smells really good. Like, so it could be little treats like that. And so I just go through this whole idea of like, how can you treat yourself better? Where can you treat yourself better? What other kind of treats can you incorporate that aren't just like, for me, physical is an easy one. I'm always going to do a yoga class but can I actually sit and read a book or do a crossword puzzle or maybe go paint, these mental things or these other kind of stimulations that are like ways to stimulate ourselves that we might not be doing enough of. And at the end of the day, you'll just go through your day sometimes without doing anything for yourself because it's so easy to put yourself last. And it's so easy to just like everything else or to get into the habit of the same thing over and over again. Like I use that analogy of it. I used to be just like a glass of wine at night. So I can't wait for a glass of wine. And then I stopped drinking wine and I'm like, wait, there's so many other things I can do to treat myself, so it's a fun book. And I like that I can still continue to write and kind of share a different part of me.
I have to ask, what inspired you to write that book?
my little sign off that I always give to the reminding yourself that everything you could possibly ever want, have, or need is right here inside of you. I always said that at the end of my Peloton classes and in my other yoga classes prior to Peloton. And so I think it's this reminder of, when you tap into yourself and really discover yourself more and more, then you actually give yourself these really cool treats and find joy in every day.
Wow, that's really nice. I love how you wrapped
You.
all the things together. Wow, that's really
You.
cool.
You should do
I
this for a
appreciate you
living.
having me. I really am so glad we finally made this work.
Oh, so am I. It's what a treat.
Likewise.
It's a
Yes.
treat.
Look at that.
I treated myself.
Okay, see, I love it. And then you start to look at some of those tasks that you think are chores, but then you're like, oh no, I'm going to treat myself to folding the laundry, because isn't it so nice to have like clean drawers and like, just little things. You reframe how you see things. So
I do love that.
awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for. Oh,
Kid,
what's
Are
that? You
you
cut out.
in New Jersey?
No, we're in
No,
Missouri.
We're in St. Louis.
Missouri. I never realized lived. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Where-
wish I could pop into the studio.
St. Louis?
Yep, we're in St.
Yeah.
Louis.
My brother went to SLU.
I got my MBA
So
from
does she.
SLU.
No way. And one of
Way.
my very first boyfriends from Pocatello, Idaho, Mark Owens, he went to St. Louis University too. That's cool.
So fun.
I love
Very
it.
cool.
Okay.
You probably thought Jersey because of our accents.
Yeah,
Not Jersey. I always thought Jersey for some reason, but
who knows?
Yeah.
well,
Well,
thank you so much.
thank you so much. And before we let you go, on the outside chance that people don't know, remind them where they can find you and all the things.
The best place is my website, KristinMcGee.com. It's Kristin with an I at the end, or Instagram, Kristin McGee. You can easily follow me there and then message me and find all of my other channels as well.
Wonderful. Well,
Awesome.
thank you
Thank you.
so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So that brings this episode to a close. It was so nice to talk to Kristin.
It was.
It was very nice of
She's
her to
delightful.
take time out of her day to deign to speak to us. And we have more interesting interviews in the not too distant future. So we will just leave it there. So until next time, where can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Crystal D. O'Keefe. They can find me on Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, and the Peloton leaderboard at Clip Out Crystal.
And you can find me on Threads and Blue Sky at Tom O'Keefe Jr. or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. You can find the show online at facebook.com/The Clip Out. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and of course, Patreon, $5 a month, all sorts of bonus content, early episodes, ad-free episodes, and we like you a little less. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep pedaling.
And running.
And road.
Bye.
Clip in, set yourself free.